Okay, good afternoon and welcome to the class. We are almost at the end of the chapter on data handling, where we are discussing the chance and the probability. Yesterday, we had a small introductory video on what is a random experiment, what is an event, when is an outcome called an event, etc. All right, and we have written down the definitions of all these things that I'm saying. So to continue with that, I have two more short videos, which I will be sharing one after the other. And wherever there is a necessity to write down something in your classwork, I shall pause and come back to you. All right. So shall we go and have the screen share?
Yes.
Okay, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I hope you're seeing my screen. Pin my screen so that there is no interference from others' screens.
Read the following situations to find out whether they are certain, impossible, or can happen by chance. If the price of one chocolate is ₹5, then price of 10 chocolates will be 50. If we know the price of one item, then we can find the price of any number of items. Here, considering the price of one chocolate, it can be said certainly that the price of 10 chocolates will be 10 multiplied by 5 rupees is equal to 50 rupees. Therefore, the outcome of this event is certain. On throwing the dice, 8 will be obtained. On dice, only number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 are marked. Therefore, it is impossible to get 8 when the dice is thrown. On randomly choosing a student from a class of 12 boys and 8 girls, it will be a boy. Here definitely, number of boys is more, but this does not mean that if a student is selected randomly, it will be a boy. It can also be a girl. That is, if a student is selected randomly, it will be a boy by chance, means possibility. Next example, on throwing the dice, find the probability of getting the odd number.
Now, in the previous situations, there are three situations that she has discussed. I don't want you to write them in your classwork. I hope you have understood that the three situations are different in their own ways. One is something which will certainly happen. The second one, which will never happen, because getting an 8 when you roll a dice is impossible. And the third event, there is some chance of that situation happening. All right. So these are three different examples she has given for a certain event, for an impossible event, and an event to have a chance to happen. All right. So this actually discusses why the value of probability will always lie between 0 and 1, or sometimes it can be exactly 0 or exactly equal to 1. Yesterday, I think in the video, we have discussed this. Probability is whose value will always lie between 0 and 1. So in which case it is going to be 0 and in which case it will be 1 is what she is trying to tell in the previous example. Now this example which is there on the screen now, I want you to write it down in the notebook. If not now, at least when the recording is sent to you, please sit down, write down the question. If you are not able to draw a dice, you leave it, no problem. But write down the outcomes as it is shown here in the video. All right. So now I'll proceed.
All possible outcomes of experiment of throwing the dice are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Therefore, all possible outcomes of the experiment are 6. Here, we have to find out the probability of getting the odd number. Favorable outcomes for obtaining the odd number is 1, 3, 5. In this way, for getting the odd number, the number of favorable outcomes is 3. Probability of any event is equal to number of outcomes for that event divided by number of all possible outcomes of the experiment. Hence, the probability of getting the odd number is number of outcomes for obtaining odd number divided by number of all possible outcomes of the experiment. In this way, the probability of getting the odd number is 1 by 2.
So here I have just shown it with this example here. So whenever there is an event given to you and the probability of that event happening or not happening or finding the probability of a given event is asked, then you must remember every time you have to write this formula. Probability of any event is always equal to the number of outcomes for that event, or you can call it the number of favorable outcomes divided by number of possible outcomes of the experiment, or in other words you can tell total number of outcomes. All right, so every question that you have to find the probability of an event, the first thing you will recall and write is the formula to find the probability of an event, which is always equal to the number of outcomes for that event divided by number of possible outcomes for the experiment that you're doing. Or in other words, it can be numerator is number of favorable outcomes divided by total number of outcomes. All right. So illi you are seeing the number of favorable outcomes for getting an odd number. So total outcomes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yavde number annu it can show up. When you roll a die, any of these 6 numbers will show up. So the total number of outcomes is 6. But which is favorable for me? Favorable andre nange yavdu hagbeku, which is that outcome that I want. Because I want only odd number, it should be either 1, 3 or 5. What about 2, 4 and 6? Can I include them?
Ma'am, they are even numbers.
Even numbers.
Yes, I am not including them because they are even numbers. I want only odd numbers to show up on my dice. So my total outcomes is 6 and favorable outcomes is 3. So by the formula, I know probability is equal to favorable outcomes divided by total outcomes, which is 3 divided by 6, and hence the probability of getting an odd number on a die is equal to 1 by 2. All right. So this example I want you to write down in your notebook. Maybe a little later when you get the recording. All right. Now I'm going to proceed.
Similarly, can you now find out the probability of getting an even number on throwing the dice?
Can you quickly tell me what should be the probability of getting an even number? Any guess?
Mama, the
1
same
by 2,
3 by 6 will be there and 1 by 2. 3 by 6.
Are you sure that is also going to be 1 by 2?
Yes, ma'am.
Why?
Yeah, ma'am,
Which are the possible outcomes?
we can see the 2, 4 and 6 are, they are 3. When we then 3 by 6, we 6 outcomes, total outcomes will be 6. 3 by 6, 1 by 2 we can do.
So favorable outcomes are 3 because 2, 4 and 6 are the favorable outcomes. Total outcomes we already know 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So favorable outcomes numerator is 3, denominator total outcomes is 6. So 3 divided by 6 will again become 1 by 2. All right. So this was a very easy question which you should be able to answer. So let us proceed.
Try yourself. Next example. On some chits, each letter of the word intelligent is written and placed in a jar. If a chit is drawn from the jar without looking into it, what is the probability that N is written on it?
Okay, I hope you understood the question. The entire word intelligent is split into individual letters. So how many letters make up this word intelligent?
Ma'am, 11.
11.
11 words.
All the 11
2 by 11.
Sorry?
Ma'am, N's probability is 2 by 11.
Yeah, we'll come to that slowly. Wait. So you have 11 chits in which all these alphabets are written and it is put inside a jar. Now
Ma'am, I have a doubt, ma'am.
Yes.
The previous question in which they had told to see the probability of getting the even numbers, should we do that problem in the notebook?
No need. That is just a question which is asked. Only for the odd numbers you write it enough.
Okay.
Yeah. So there are 11 chits which are made with all the alphabets of the word intelligent. All right. And it is put inside a jar. The question is, if a chit is drawn from the jar, you are not going to see. You're going to close your eyes and remove one chit. What is the probability that N is written on it? So how many chits will have N written on it?
Ma'am, 2, because in intelligent we have N 2 times, ma'am.
Yes. In the word intelligent,
Number is 11 and
Yes.
2 by 11.
So probability will be 2 by 11.
Correct. So that's how you find the probability of a given event. You have to decide the numerator and the denominator. Numerator is the favorable outcome for your event, and denominator is total number of outcomes. Here the total number of outcomes is 11 because there are 11 chits. Any one of them you can take. Nobody can control that. All right. So the total number of outcomes will be 11. Out of which is favorable for you? Only 2 chits, which is having the alphabet N, is favorable for you. So my probability will be favorable outcomes divided by total outcomes, which will be equal to 2 by 11. So let me proceed in the same.
Intelligent. This word has total 11 letters. That is, the number of chits will be 11. Therefore, total number of outcomes will be 11. This word has 2N. So, there will be 2 chits on which N will be written. The chit drawn in this way, there are 2 favorable outcomes for N. Hence, the probability of having N on the drawn chit is the number of favorable outcomes of the event divided by number of all possible outcomes, which is equal to 2 by 11. Now, you can find out by your own that what is the probability that a vowel is written on the chit.
Yeah, this I want you to do and tell me. You need a vowel written on the chit. What are vowels?
Ma'am, A, E, I, O, U.
Out of all the 26 alphabets in English, only there are 5 vowels, and they are A, E, I, O, and U.
U, ma'am.
So my probability or the event for which I need the probability is the chit that I take should be either A, should be E, should be I, should be O.
Ma'am, there are 4 favorable outcomes for this case, ma'am.
Yeah, wait, Arun, wait, just hold on. Yeah, now in the word intelligent, first you have to find out how many of these vowels are there. Do you have the alphabet A?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Ruled out. What about
I is
E?
ma'am, I
I
is
is there,
Ma'am,
ma'am.
2 times
E
E
is
is there, ma'am.
there. Ma'am, E is also there.
Ma'am, and
E is
also
there
2
2
times
times.
I is there, ma'am.
I is there how many times?
Yes.
Ma'am, 2 times.
2 times.
When do you have O is there?
Ma'am,
No, ma'am.
No,
no, ma'am.
U is there?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
So
Ma'am, total
we-
4 vowels.
yes. Which are those 2 vowels which are there in the word intelligent?
Ma'am, I and E.
I 2
Ma'am, I
times
and
and E 2 times.
No,
All right.
so 4
So
will be there.
favorable outcomes will
Ma'am,
be
4.
true.
Ma'am, 4 by 11.
4 by 11.
Correct. So this question also I want you to write in the classwork. The first one where you were picking up N as the favorable outcome. Here picking up a vowel as a favorable outcome also I want you to write in the classwork. I hope she has done this in the video. Let us see.
So today we
I hope you have understood those simple examples on probability of certain events which are happening in our daily life. We see this happening in our daily life. So I thought I will discuss this. Now the next one, before we go on to the exercise, maybe the exercise I will take it up tomorrow only. So there are certain misconceptions, means something which is wrong, which is always thought to be correct when we deal with probability. So those are important ones which I want to discuss with you. They are general, but they are very useful information. So I thought I will share this video also with you. So maybe it will take another 7 to 8 minutes. We should conveniently be able to view that video. So let me go back to my screen share. I hope you are seeing my screen.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, then I shall play.
Misconception 1. On tossing a coin 15 times, following outcomes are obtained. Find out what will be the result if the coin is tossed next time. Some children see the pattern and think that on tossing a coin, next time outcome T will be obtained. So they give option 1 as an answer, which is the wrong answer. In such an experiment, it is wrong to predict the outcome based on observations. Keep in mind that after tossing a coin, it cannot be said certainly that we will get a head or tail. The outcome will neither depend on any pattern nor on earlier observations. The coin is tossed any number of times, but in every case, there is equal possibility of getting head or tail. That's why we say that the probability of getting each outcome, head or tail, is 1 by 2. So here, the correct answer is option 2.
Harshashri, mute your audio, please. Don't disturb people who are there on the meet, please.
Misconception 2. In the shown spinners, there are 2 colors. According to Ramesh, the probability of stopping on blue color of all 3 spinners is 1 by 2. But according to Manish, in the first spinner, the probability of stopping at blue color is 1 by 2, 1 by 4 in second, and 3 by 4 in third. Find out whose understanding is correct. Like Ramesh, some children think that each spinner has 2 paths, one blue and one green. So the spinner will stop on one of these 2 paths. That is, the probability of stopping on the blue part of spinner in all 3 spinners is 1 by 2. But this is a wrong understanding. That is, option 1 is wrong answer. Here the first spinner has 2 equal paths. So all possible outcomes will be blue and green. That is, the number of all possible outcomes is 2. But condition of getting blue color is only 1. So the number of favorable outcomes is 1. In this way, the probability of getting favorable outcome, blue color, is equal to number of favorable outcomes divided by number of all possible outcomes of an experiment, which is 1 by 2. On doing 4 equal parts of second spinner, there are 3 green parts and 1 blue part. That is, the number of possible outcomes of the experiment are 4. From these, the condition of getting blue color is only 1. Therefore, the number of favorable outcomes of experiment are 1. We can say that the probability of getting blue color is equal to 1 by 4. On doing 4 equal parts of the third spinner, there are 1 green part and 3 blue parts. That is, the number of possible outcomes of the experiment are 4. From these, the condition of getting blue color is 3. Therefore, the number of favorable outcomes of experiment are 3. We can say that the probability of getting blue color is 3 by 4. In this way, the probability of getting blue color in first spinner is 1 by 2 in second spinner is 1 by 4 and in third spinner is 3 by 4. That is, option 2 is correct answer. Keep in mind that in such situations, that probability does not depend on the number of colors but on the number of equal parts. So today we have learned.
I hope you understood what she was trying to say there. So depending on the number of colors, we don't decide the probability of an event. It is decided on the number of outcomes and the favorable outcomes which are there for an event. So now I don't want to start the exercise, because even if I start maybe 1 or 2 problems only I can take up. So we will take up the exercise tomorrow, and hence I think I can stop my recording here.